Happy Independence Day, everybody. I still can't believe there are movies opening on 4th of July weekend and not ours. Tony, shut up, or else he'll fart on us again. I still can't believe this is how we're spending our Independence Day.
Hello, big kids. It's time for your big review.
What up, big kids? Here's my big review of Despicable Me 2. Yeah, exactly. Stuart will be here joining me for the review. Got my own minion for this review. Now, this will be non-spoiler, so don't worry about it. There's too much to spoil. I mean, I like the first Despicable Me movie, and I like the premise of it, the bad guy becoming the good guy, you know, that's always cool. Now, this movie, kind of like a lot of anime movies, how do you make a sequel out of this? Well, they actually have a good premise. Gru, Steve Carell's character, gets brought into this anti-villain league that is commissioned by Kristen Wiig's character Lucy, and it's, by the way, Kristen Wiig and Steve Carell's chemistry as Lucy and Gru is really great. I really like Lucy. She's a very upbeat. I always like upbeat characters, you know, and she's never too over. Well, all these characters are over the top, but she's never too much over the top, or just like, God, just shut up, you know. So I like that about her. So, but anyway, it's cool that they bring in Gru, who's just actually trying to be a dad to the girls from the first one. It's all fluffy, you know. Yeah, I know, fluffy. Yeah, it's basically one of those movies where it's a good premise because he was a villain, so they're bringing him to catch another villain who, if you guys know from the news, was originally going to be voiced by Al Pacino, but now Benjamin Bratt does a great job of voice El Macho, or, well, anyway, you'll see what I mean when you see this movie. The real villain in this is actually really cool. I really like it a lot. He's a great character. And, so basically the story, it makes sense for a sequel. It's not anything too original, instead of kind of like, you know, bring a former bad guy to try to find another bad guy, you know. It's basically like an action spy movie, where, but of course this is a comedy. This is definitely, with these guys, the Minions, people are going to go see it for mostly the Minions. And there's some really laugh out loud moments. I laughed a lot in this movie, probably more so than the first movie. The Minions have a way more integral part, and yeah, they have a lot of slapstick humor, but they actually help out a lot throughout the plot. And actually they're a big part of the plot with the villain. You'll see what I mean. But you gotta love them. They're adorable. They always remind me of Twinkies. One thing I have to say, and it's not a spoiler, but there is a song at the end that people who grew up in the 90s, like myself, will absolutely laugh out loud. Kids might not get it, but for people my age, and if you watch Black Nerd Comedies review that, you totally agree. You will just, oh my God, I just cracked up so much. And anyway, you gotta love hearing these. Yep, you gotta love hearing these guys sing. But yeah, the voice acting is really great. Like I said, you know, freaking iCarly back as Margot, Russell Brand as Dr. Nefario, Ken Jeong does a voice in here, Steve Coolidge does Silas, you know, hilarious. And then Agnes and Edith are great. There's definitely going to be the aw moments, but probably not as much as the first one. This movie is more like action-packed. I'd like to say it's kind of like what Cars 2 wanted to be, if that makes sense. Because you know how I feel about Cars 2. Where, you know, it feels like they take a sequel that was supposed to be a more heartfelt story and just made it more of an action comedy, but this definitely delivered on the action comedy. Definitely the visuals look great, as great as any of the great Pixar or DreamWorks movies. Universal is doing a great job with their animation. It's definitely one of those movies that, of course, this is aimed for kids, but people my age, adults, if you're taking your kids, or even if you don't have kids, you're just a fan of animation, you'll definitely love it. I didn't see it in 3D, but there's definitely some parts, because I saw this with my mom and little brother, where I wish I did, especially at the end credits. There's kind of an after credit scene. It's actually during the beginning of the credits, so once that scene ends, there's nothing more. I checked, but yeah, it's hilarious. The Minions always steal the show. They're hilarious. But yeah, like I said, great voice cast. Ooh, excuse me. Great voice cast. The Minions are hilarious. Like I said, the plot is pretty straightforward, nothing too original. It's definitely one of those movies you'll enjoy, and you'll probably definitely want to buy on Blu-ray. You might even see it once or twice in the theaters, but it's definitely not one of like the greatest anime films. It's not like Toy Story 3 where it's going to make you cry or it's going to impact you, but still a hilarious, fun time at the summer, especially for 4th of July weekend. So with that said, I get Despicable Me 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, so definitely go see it. It's definitely worth seeing in the theaters. Like I said, people of all ages will enjoy it. It's definitely, I think, just as good as Monsters University. It might be even a little funnier than Monsters University, but definitely not as heartfelt as the first one. But anyway, I hope you guys really enjoy it. I hope you have a happy Independence Day. I'm actually going to go see Lone Ranger, and I'll tell you guys how I feel about that one too. And stay tuned for a review of Stewart, and check out Rip Apparel for all these awesome shirts. And on their Independence Day, wearing an Assassin's Creed Connor shirt. I want you to love America and go see Despicable Me too. So check out Rip Apparel and check out bkbn.net for all your geek news, reviews, podcasts, and more. I'm Shalong. Remember, celebrate them in a big way.
Go to bkbn.net. Go to bkbn.net. Go to bkbn.net. I tell you to go down.
Wow, he really thought this movie was funny. Do you find my reviews funny? Really? Really?